Hi Gator fans, today we're going to preview the upcoming men's basketball season. I'm joined today by Allegheny head men's basketball coach Jim Driggs. Coach, thanks for taking the time to be with us.
It's a pleasure to be with you, Jim.
The Gators are wrapping up their preseason preparations, a month of practice and 2 scrimmages, to open the season this weekend with the Greg Richards 08 Memorial Tournament. Coach, how has the preseason gone so far, and are you happy with where your team is at this point?
The preseason's been good. You know, as a coach, I think I'd wish we still have about 10 to 15 more practices, but game time is here, and you know, I think we've got a good veteran group. This is kind of my first team that I've had with a significant amount of seniors, so you know, game time is here, and we got to play. So we'll see where we are tomorrow. I've been happy with the effort and the attitude, though.
You graduated one of the top players in program history in Vonn. He led the conference in scoring last year, graduated with over 1,200 career points. So it's going to be it's going to be a tough task replacing him. How do you go about trying to replace a player like Vonn, and do you think the experience factor that your team does have that you spoke about will help in that transition?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, Vonn was an excellent scorer of the basketball, but I think we have to remember and realize that we have a lot of other guys that can really shoot the basketball. That's a strength of ours, I think, as a team, is we have 4, 5, 6 guys that can really shoot the basketball. And, you know, we led the conference in field goal percentage last year, and you know, I think we'll have a chance to really, you know, score the basketball again this year because of our offense. And DeAndre Corbin, he, you know, while he came off the bench last year, you know, he's played for 3 years now, and he's a senior, and so he'll provide some leadership. And the fact that he's a senior, I think, is a good thing.
Now, talking about DeAndre and the veteran-laden team, the guard spot has a number of talented players to step in for Vonn, including DeAndre, Josh Valentic, John O'Donnell. What does this group bring to the table, this athletic group of guards?
Well, I think, again, you know, I think our ability to make shots is definitely a strength of ours. We have, you know, as you mentioned, Valentic, O'Donnell, Evan Schweitzer. There's some freshmen in that group that can really shoot the basketball. Ryan Stanko is a very, very good shooter. So that's our strength. What we need them to do is take care of the basketball so we can actually get a shot and then defend. And then those guys have to do a job on the backboards too for us. They have to really concentrate on finishing possessions with strong box out so we can get the ball.
Underneath the hoop, you have just about everybody returning from last year. You mentioned Ryan Stanko. He's almost 6'5", kind of a swing man. He'll go underneath. He averaged 6 rebounds a game last year, and 13.8 points. One of the top 3-point shooters in the conference. Also underneath, Clark Trito averaged nearly 10 points and 8 rebounds. Chris Milan, athletic, 6'7". He's back, looks to be healthy. Brandon Smith is a big body underneath. Are you comfortable with your returnees underneath? And what are some of your expectations for the front court?
You know, I think we've got more depth in the front court than we've had in the past too. Obviously, you just named the guys, but I think the depth is a positive for us. Those guys are going to be asked to do a lot. I mean, they have to, you know, the big thing for them, and this falls on a lot of forwards and centers, is they're going to have to do a number on the backboards for us. That's been our Achilles heel, and we're really going to look to all those guys to provide a lot of strength on the glass. But they're versatile players. I mean, talk about a Clark Trito. He can shoot the basketball out to 3. He can post up smaller guys, and he can handle the ball and make good decisions with the basketball. So those guys are going to be critical for our success this year.
Now, you have a pretty large freshman class as well, 5 newcomers. How have they handled the adjustment to the college game, and are you comfortable with where they are?
You know, I think, you know, they've only had 22 practices under their belt. I think the pace of the game is much quicker than they used to. And some of them came from very, very good high school programs. They've got great attitudes. Their effort's been tremendous. You're going to see a few of them getting games early. I think it's a strong class, and I think there's going to be contribution from a few of those guys right off the bat.
Looking at the schedule, the Gators open the weekend, like we talked about, with the Greg Richards 08 Memorial Tournament, and have a lot of home games early on. And you also play a pretty tough slate of non-conference opponents. Games at CMU, games against Barron, Case Western, Alfred, Geneva. How do you think the early season schedule will prepare you for the grind that is the North Coast Athletic Conference?
Yeah, well, I mean, it starts off tomorrow night against a very strong Alma College team that was picked 5th in their league, very strong league out in Michigan. And then, Adrian College on Saturday, who was a top 25 team last year for several weeks, and they beat Worcester last year at Worcester. The Case and Carnegie games, very, very good competition for us. Penn State, Barron. I mean, you could go down the list of our non-league games, and I think there's a good balance of home and away games, and hopefully our goal is to have it prepare us and get us to a point where we're playing our best basketball, second semester, as we're in the heart of the conference, which is going to be loaded again. So.
Again, thank you, Coach, for joining us. We'll look at the upcoming 2013-14 Gator basketball season. Again, you can watch the action from the Greg Richards 08 Memorial Tournament on Gators TV. Mike Farello and Vic Kress will bring the action, or come on down to the David V. Wise Center. Proceeds benefit Coaches vs. Cancer in the honor of Greg Richards, 2008 graduate of Allegheny College. And again, as always, be sure to keep it locked in to AlleghenyGators.com for all your up-to-date Gator news and information.